cognitive overload, it's tied to burnout, is that about 28% of our day now is interrupted by technology. Yeah. And what happens is that our brains, they are not designed to shift easily from task to task. And what's happening is that managers especially are reaching out to their employees more than ever before. You can't just walk down the hall. They're not in the same building, right? So you are texting people. And we're starting to see an increase in communication before work hours, after work hours, and on the weekends. And there have been various studies that said that we're seeing about 200% increase to direct reports after hours. So now you're not just on during the workday, but you feel like you have to be on all the time and accessible and available. We're also starting to see an increase in digital communications, right? You can't pop into someone's office. You're not in a meeting room together. So you've got Zoom overload, you've got email overload, you've got Microsoft Teams, email, text, all these things. And there's more ad hoc meetings. That's the other thing. People are starting to do more ad hoc meetings. So what happens is that we are constantly distracted and interrupted. And it takes our brain, you guys, 25 minutes to get back to the level of focus that we had before we were interrupted. 25 minutes. The studies have shown that workers are interrupted every 3 to 12 minutes on average. Okay, and what does that do? It's like basically sending stress hormones to the body constantly. And it's taking a toll on our minds, which then it takes a toll on the body because the mind and the body are very much connected. And then we feel like we can't ever catch up. Forbes had a recent article that I read about it, but we're definitely starting to see on the bell curve, for a while we were seeing with more technology, productivity was increasing, and now it's starting to dip in the other way. We're actually, because what happens with cognitive overload, people are less engaged. They have higher incidence of stress and burnout, and they're not making great decisions. We're starting to see more mistakes. And also when we are tired and are overloaded and exhausted, we return back to a lot of our cognitive biases, which is not good, which means our filters are gone. So it impacts everything. And even if you're starting to feel it, limit your distractions, talk to your leaders, talk to your team about ways to maybe turn your notifications off, turn your phone upside down, do the Pomodoro technique. I love doing this. I set my timer, 25 minutes, work on a task, do not allow myself to be distracted. I always say, I use the restroom, I eat, I do everything I need to do before my timer goes on so I can stay focused, 25 minutes. And then after that, you can take a 5-minute break.